Hello guys, Wahoo here, back with another episode of the Hello Guy podcast. This time around we got CashinClean, and I'm basically on vacation. That's why I look the way I do. Of course you can't hear that on or see that, I guess, rather on Spotify. We can see here on YouTube what I look like. I look dashing. No, I'm on vacation. I'm relaxing. I also need a haircut. I need a trim, all that stuff. But that's not what the episode is about. It's about CashinClean. And if you don't know who CashinClean is, you can go to the description. I have linked his YouTube down there as well. You can also find his Twitch through that YouTube as well. Also, all of my socials are down there. And I really hope that I can figure out how to put this on Spotify again. It's been a while, and it's basically also, I say this in the episode as well, kind of later, that kind of ran out of people in a sense, and I'm making quotations. Again, you can't see that on Spotify, but I kind of ran out of people in that sense where I didn't just know who to directly ask and who would make sense to ask. So when CashinClean actually approached me and said he really liked the episodes, I kind of just asked if he wanted to do it. I kind of just, as I said, got lazy with it. I really didn't know who to ask, and I, kind of ran out of people in a sense. I don't know why, and I got lazy with it. It was kind of a combination of that, like being lazy about it, and also just kind of running out of people. I'm making quotations again because, this is what happened, and I really liked the format. I really loved it, and I wish that I could get more people on. So if you have any suggestions, I also say this in the episode that CashinClean hopefully also would. I don't know if I say this or I say it after but I'm asking him if he had anybody he wanted to bring on. So if you have anybody, put in the comments on YouTube. Maybe write me on Discord, whatever, YouTube, all that stuff, Twitter, whatever it is. Please, if you have any names, I'll gladly to ask them and hear if they want to do so. I also ask say a few people that I asked later in the episode as well. But hope you guys enjoyed it. Enjoy the episode. Make sure you check out CashinClean as well. And this is the episode that was pretty long. So thank you for listening and watching. And I'll see you guys very soon. So I hit record because I don't know how to do. I feel like it's just more organic if you just start, actually, in a way.
Yeah, I feel like that too. I think it's good.
Yeah, we kind of did the sound thing, but it's just like, of course, people need to hear what you're saying. I actually don't remember what I did back in the day, when I had other people on. Like, I can't remember how I did.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It was a while back. I was watching a couple of them while I was at work. It was pretty entertaining.
Yeah, I don't even remember. I was thinking right now when before we started, like what footage I was using, because like I don't just want a black screen or something like that. So I think I was doing Trove and other games as well. I think it was doing Diablo at one point as well. I can't remember.
Yeah, it was a while ago. I'm surprised. When I brought up the podcast, I was surprised you wanted to have me on. Does this mean you're gonna start up the podcast series again?
Yeah, I was thinking it would be just I kind of always like doing it, but like I think but like I said, it's like I kind of ran out of people in a way that I not that I didn't want to interview, but it was just like what would like maybe I was thinking too much about what people wanted to know about, who they want to know something about, like.
Oh yeah, it makes sense.
There was some people, of course, I reached out to that never. There's two people I reached out to. One was actually Scythe. I was actually reaching out to him because, like, I thought that it would be kind of cool to have some sort of conversation with him, like how he feels about the whole thing and such. Like that's still like what is it, 2-3 years ago by now. And then I also reached. What?
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I didn't mean to cut you off either.
I was gonna say, if you, I'm guessing he didn't respond, or did he
respond?
Yeah,
he never responded. He never, and then I actually also reached out to Faffy. You remember Lord Faffy?
Oh, yeah, I remember him. I think
Yeah,
he stopped doing content though,
yeah.
sadly.
He stopped doing content like I think 6 months ago or something like that. But like I reached out to him like way before. But he responded to me. He said that he wasn't interested in it. So that's like super cool. Like if it's not
There you
something
go.
you want to do, it's like just say so.
Yeah, at least he responded back,
Yeah,
unless, or I guess Sahishi didn't, but
yeah.
I guess it is what it is.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, do we call him Scythe or do we call him Sushi?
I'm not sure.
No.
Also, if I sound super tired or anything, I just got back from a long work day. My brain's a little bit fried, but
Yeah, that's the thing, right? That's like so weird, and that's the kind of the thing is I don't. It wasn't really the coordination because it was kind of, but there is a time difference in I don't know what time it is at your place right now, but right now it's like 9:30 in the morning for me. So I
uh, sorry, I was gonna say it's 12:30 a.m. here, but
okay, so you said AM.
yeah, a.m.
Oh, so it's the same for you or what? I'm not getting the time
Uh,
reference.
well, I think so. It's like close to 1 a.m. Like not the
Oh,
p.m.
yeah. So
section.
it's getting nighttime for you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That makes sense.
nighttime.
Yeah, for me it's the
Yeah,
morning. So when you texted me today, it was actually like almost 3 a.m. for me. So I was sleeping while you were texting that thing. You're like, are you still good for Sunday? And technically, it was Sunday for me. So it's
yeah, yeah. The time zones are a little bit off. I was in Europe for like a month, or not a month, like close to a month. So I was
mm,
pretty used to your guys'. I'm pretty sure you guys use like the same time zone over there, but I was used to that for a little bit, and then had to readjust to my current one.
yeah. But that's also one of the things that I was kind of like the time zone. I don't know why, but I feel like actually like most of the people I've talked to, content creator wise, I guess the podcast that I actually did, uh, the most of them is actually from like either America or I think Nina is in Australia or something like that. That but there's not a lot of people in like Europe. I feel like there's doing like Trove content or is it like associate or I wouldn't say associated with Trove, but like I would say high tier players or whatever you can call it. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I've met a couple, but I guess if you I could maybe ask put in like a good word, have them interview you or you interview them or something.
Oh yeah,
But
that could be. I definitely would love to, and that's probably the third thing is that like I was like just running out of ideas who to ask, right? But who would be interesting to for maybe for people to know more about or something like that. And of course, Trope always changes in who like is still playing. Like E-Turn, for example, was like a high tier player at one point at least, and then he kind of stopped, and then other people comes in and all that stuff. So um, yeah,
yeah, I miss a
that's
lot of the older players. I remember when I first started Trove, Etern helped me out a ton. He was one of my not my big helpers, but he was one of the people that helped me out a ton when I was first new.
yeah, yeah. He was kind of a little bit reserved guy, but still like he was really helpful if you like asked for it. At least he has also helped me in some cases. But yeah, definitely. Yeah. So you kind of talked about your like if you should. The thing is with these ones is that I kind of see them as sort of a like a. It sounds weird, I don't know, but it's like a first date kind of thing.
I mean, fair enough, yeah.
Yeah,
That
like
makes
because it's like the basic stuff you kind of learn on a first date, where it's like, hey, where are you from? How you do? Like, like stuff like that. So maybe we should just start like there, but even though we have started, but I think it
yeah,
makes sense to kind of people know like, people get kind of maybe guessed already where you're from because we said like the time zone, but
oh yeah, yeah, they might know already. But I guess I'm from America, from the west side, so if anyone was curious.
yeah, I can ask you for like that's the thing, right? Because I was thinking when preparing, if you can say that, if I did any preparations and even really do that. But I was thinking, like, how much can I actually ask you? I know we're going away from what we just talked about, but like, how much can I ask you? Because you are, to me, because when you stream, you can only see your keyboard, right? For example, and such.
Yeah.
So how much
Yeah.
are you willing to, like, tell people? Like you said, now you said the West Coast, for example. You could have said a state, if you know what I mean. Like, people wouldn't figure out who you are if the state, if that's just how secretive you want to, or with your identity, I guess.
Yeah, I guess I'm open to any question. You can ask me whatever. I probably won't do any face reveals
No, no,
because
no,
I'll
no.
save that for a future moment. And
Ooh.
then as far as like the state, I'm sure some people already know where I live, like in terms of the state, but
Mm.
we can keep that like a somewhat of a secret. And if they
Okay.
really want to know, they can dig deep for that.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
But
Well, that's cool
yeah,
because, like, I know that that's like a big thing, right? And in not only in the, like, Trove community, that's not, but like generally the content creator, where you kind of have to be careful to, like, reveal where you are and stuff like that in some people and in some cases, right? Um,
yeah, that's the thing we sign up for when we do YouTube. Gotta
yeah,
watch out for that stuff.
yeah. Is that the reason why you don't want to, like, reveal yourself, or is it just like, is there
Uh,
other reasons?
like a face reveal or just like where I live.
No, no, I'm thinking, like, um
Also, was that a
um
sneeze or?
yeah, sorry, I coughed. I tried to mute it. Did it really go through? Oh
Okay.
no, that's
I
ruined.
was gonna say bless you, but I wasn't sure.
No, yeah, I was coughing, so it's just, I had to mute, and then you asked me a question, and then I couldn't, like, have, like, that silence. Oh, so that went through.
Sorry.
That was great. That ruined the. Okay, we start over. 9 minutes in, we start over. No,
Sorry.
so what were we asking? Sorry, now I just went away from it.
No, I think we were talking about face reveals or
Yeah, yeah,
uh,
yeah. I kind of asked you, like, why the reason why you were, like, not doing it. What's the reason you want to keep your identity kind of hidden, right? Like, I don't reveal, like, my address or anything like that. I don't post that like just everywhere or anything like that. But, like,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure people know what, like, my first name is because I've used it a bunch of times, and I don't think I have used my surname, but I'm pretty sure people could figure out. Like, I definitely have, even my profile picture on Discord. You can see my, my face and such. So, yeah, I'm just curious on what, like, your reason why you keep it a secret.
Yeah, so I don't know. Part of me like really wants to just because I don't really care what people think of me at this point, but at the same time, part of me does care what other people think of me.
Mm,
So if I do a face reveal, then I don't know. I'm sure there's gonna be some people that like could judge or do their typical things like, oh, this person's super ugly. Like not to me, but like
mm,
just something that they might say. But
yeah,
I don't know. Like part of me just cares about what people think. Part of me doesn't. And then after that, like my whole identity at this point, when it comes to like my streams and stuff, is that people can just see my hand in the webcam.
yeah,
So I don't know. It's like I don't know if I'm sure maybe you've had some friends like this where like you've talked to them all the time. You kind of have like a picture of what they might look like, but if you like ask them, it might kind of ruin the whole I don't know,
oh, yeah,
like
yeah.
the whole moment. So yeah, I feel like if I show my face, then I don't know if people would even enjoy my hand cams at that point.
No,
So
people then want to see the face, right? Like, that's the thing, right? So,
yeah.
but I'm thinking, like, um, you think you're making it worse for yourself, like, putting it off, like, building up, like, not like the hype, I mean, but, like, expectations and, like, and such.
Uh, I don't know. I feel like I've been getting asked to do a face reveal for a long time now, but at the same time, I'm still kind of like 50-50 on it. I think what I'll do in the future is I've kind of just made like this kind of ongoing joke. So if people can beat me in like a 1v1 in like certain games, then I might consider doing a face reveal, but for now I'm gonna have to hold off on that.
Mm. Yeah. And you could also just like I totally respect the thing about like keeping your identity like away from the internet as much as you can. Like this really shouldn't be the focus, but I think it's mostly just being people being super curious, on whatever like what you look like, right? When they listen to you a lot or like watch whatever you're doing, kind of in a way.
Yeah, I think I'll do it at some point, but I hope that people don't ask for more face reveals and like I want to keep my hand cam still and have that be a thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Because people just imagine that I look like a hand off camera.
What you should do, right? It could be kind of funny. It's like when you do the face reveal, just like make a mask where it's just a hand and it's covering your whole face. It's just
You
like,
could do something like that.
well, actually, my face is actually also a hand. That's why I never revealed it. I'm a freak of nature, so I was
A
afraid
big
what
plot
people
twist.
think that I'm actually just a hand for a face. No, like,
I could do that. I also have there's a couple of family friends that we have that live close by. I thought about just messing with people on stream one day if I just turned my webcam on and then just it showed somebody random sitting in my chair and not actually me. I
yeah,
wonder how that would go.
yeah. Like, but it's like I kind of get the I don't know. I wouldn't say, but I just feel like I think you should mention like the thing with like Steadfeed, for example. You know Steadfeed, right?
Yeah, I know
Yeah,
CV.
and she used to be a he, right? And the whole thing that she has to deal with, on like what she looks like, and again being kind of judged on what she looks like, and because she does use a webcam and stuff like that. It's like I'm not saying the same thing about you, but the thing you're kind of mentioning where like what if people call you ugly or something like that, like it's just a weird thing that is the internet, I guess, like where you have to deal with stuff like that, like people judging you for some reason, like whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just something that you sign up for when you create content. So like whenever you just put yourself out there. So I feel like I don't the more and more like time goes on, I kind of just care less about what other people think of me. Like I'm sure hate will come regardless. So I just kind of have to move past that and just
Mm.
look past all those comments and stuff. So
Yeah.
we'll see. I'll definitely do one at some point though.
Like I've been, I think I've been used. Well, I'm pretty sure. I used my face for whenever I started doing content. I think yeah, I did it on stream, and then I guess I never like. I think I never questioned. I think putting my camera on stream. So I think I've just always had it there. So the thing is that I've never received any sort of hate, at least not that I remember of, like at least of my looks. Definitely got some criticism on my content, but I don't think anyone has ever said to me, "Hey, you look ugly," or "Your glasses are cringe," or whatever. Um, so I never felt. I've gotten some compliments though. People have said like, but that's mostly my beard. I think that's. I don't know why people have such an obsession with beards, but I've gotten a few compliments on my beard. Like that's a very cool beard and stuff like that. So, and I don't consider myself like a pretty person either. Like, I don't feel I'm ugly either. Not not to say anything like that. So, but yeah, I think that's just a personal thing that I don't feel like there's probably people out there that think I'm not, but I don't know. Feel like it's weird to call somebody ugly. I don't know why.
Yeah,
Based,
I can't really. I was gonna say that I can't ever imagine going to someone's stream or just a YouTube comment section and just straight up typing that out. Like
no,
it'd just be really weird.
I think that's for a different type of content. Like if you're doing like let's say you are a female and or it doesn't have to be a female for that matter. The point is like if you do like cosmetics or it your content is around being beautiful and pretty and stuff like that and you're not, I think
Oh yeah.
that's a that will be attracting people that are interested in what you look like or what you're supposed to look like or whatever the thing is. But I think people find our content and they'll be like, okay, I'm looking for Trove. Like, okay, there's an ugly guy on the screen, but I just need the information, right? I can like tune the guy out or whatever.
Yes, that's true.
Open a second tab and then just listen to what the person is saying, right?
Yeah, makes sense.
Kind of the
Although,
same thing with this run, right? I don't expect anybody to watch this. I'm kind of weirded out a little bit if somebody just sits and watch the content that I just like put over the thing there, because it's just like random game footage, right? It's more on the listening part. That's just the part. But YouTube is kind of weird because you could have a whole thing on the screen. I had that before, but it just took too much, and like it's just easier because it's about talking. It's not about seeing somebody. Like
yeah, that's the thing I like about long form content. You can just kind of have it in the background. You can play Trove. You can just do whatever, like, I don't know, help your mom with their groceries or whatever the case may be. Like, you can just have it there in the background, which is nice. You don't have to actively be watching it. Whereas if it's like a tutorial, then you most likely want to like check over and see what's going on.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. But that's also shorter. I don't know if somebody makes an hour-long tutorial, but
Yeah, probably not.
well,
Hopefully not, at
at
least.
this point you probably could with Trove if you like go through, if you put like everything together or do like a like
Oh yeah, just everything.
yeah. But
Just
speaking of
the
Trove content, it should probably be mentioned. I don't know if people don't know this, but it probably maybe they do, maybe they don't, maybe they're just listening in, whatever. But yeah, you do Trove content, tutorials, I guess, events and such. Like, what is, if I could, I don't know if that makes any sense for the question here, but do you cover everything on Trove, like, or is it like more of what do you like feel like you want to cover? Like, do you think is it what would I say, mood based? I don't know if that's how you are going to phrase it, but like, or is it just like okay, I'm new content, I do everything for it so everybody like knows every single part of it? Is it, or is it like, okay, I feel like I want to tell people a little bit about specific things in an update or event or whatever?
Yeah, so when it comes to content, I try to cover as much tutorials or like guides as possible,
Hmm.
and then whenever like the PTS drops or a new update happens, then I usually take that as like a priority. Like I try to cover multiple things and just get that out for everybody as fast as possible. And then once I cover all of that, then I'll go back to doing like other tutorials that people might have a question on in Trove, or just I'm sure you get DM'd or just asked a bunch of other Trove related questions, and then you might end up making that into a video. I've done that a few times, which is pretty helpful. So I get to kind of see like where people are at in the game, so I can kind of make tutorials for that specific thing. And then this is kind of random, but like whenever like an idea pops up in my head, or like I can create like some kind of story for like a video, I kind of just take that as a priority. So
Hmm.
I guess the next video I'm gonna make is gonna be not Trove related. I can say that much. It's gonna be like a story of some sort, you can say. So
Oh,
I kind of
okay.
like to adventure out into like these other things here and there. Not too often. I try to keep it like I don't know, like 90% Trove or 95% Trove. But
Hmm.
here and there, I like to explore into other games.
Yeah, because that's actually something I've been thinking about ever since like I don't know, quite a while now. Where it's like, right now my YouTube channel is like all about Trove, right? Because like I used to do more content. Also used to stream other games as well. But just going into the whole thing about like, maybe many people ask me why I'm stopped streaming and stuff like that, or like why I'm not streaming anymore, and if I will ever come back and stuff. But that's just like time wise, it's just like you do lose a lot of time in sense of hanging out with your friends and stuff like that. So that's kind of why I kind of pulled back on that, and I can feel like I can make Trove content better on YouTube. But the point is that you know making content or other content on your YouTube channel, for example, like doesn't get received as good, because people go to your channel because it's all about Trove, right? So I've been kind of thinking about having a second channel, and kind of putting out content there, because like I still want to create content, but maybe it's misplaced as well. Like maybe this, for example, even this podcast or this conversation thing is kind of like, maybe this should fit on a different channel, right? Like that's always a concern. And I don't know if you think about that, like now that you, like you said, 95%, or you just like, I've just put everything on one, whatever.
Yeah, I want to venture out into other games here and there, but I think if I were to make more content for other games, I would definitely make another channel, because I do want to keep this main channel for Trove, and then
Mm.
if something ever happened to Trove, then I would just make another channel. I don't think I'd want to do anything to this main channel. At least I'm gonna say I think. I'm not 100% sure, because things might change in the future. I might change my mind, but as far as things go, like other games, if I ever get, or at the moment I'm trying to get really good at Osu and Rocket League. Those are like my two other main games. So if I get to the point where I feel like I can help other people in that game, then I'll make content for that game as well, or those games as well, but like on a different channel.
Mm. Yeah, because I kind of feel like it maybe just fits. Like I have a bunch of other games that I've been really struggling with, like taking off my channel and putting on on some other channels, but or no, another channel, right? But yeah, I don't know. It's just like, maybe I don't know. Maybe other people do put different content on their channel, so I don't know. It's just a, I think it's a more OCD thing I have. Just like this channel is for for Trove and this is for some other stuff, right? But
Yeah.
um, so we didn't really cover. We kind of, again, that's kind of what happens on these ones, where we just kind of randomly go off topic. Or not
No
kind of.
worries.
But we were kind of talking about like where you live and stuff like that. But I was also very curious myself. It's like, what do you do to like, what do you do for work then? Like besides Trove, is that not a secret?
Oh, I don't mind sharing that. So I just do graphic design on the side. I say on the side, that's my full-time job. So that's like, I guess my priority. I do all that stuff. My boss is pretty cool. I have a pretty flexible schedule, so I'm happy about that. Although, even though it is a pretty good job, I eventually I want to move out. Not move out. Oh, okay. I'm kind of jumping everywhere, but I will move out. But I'm saying like moving out from that job.
Mm,
I'll have to find another one at some point, because usually during the summer times it gets kind of quieter, like not as much work, and I'm looking more. I need to find something that'll, I guess, sustain myself,
mm.
because if I do want to eventually move out and then have enough time to create content on the side, then I'll have to find another stable job. But my main concern is if I'll find like a cool boss or like cool coworkers, or I don't know, like maybe like a flexible schedule. Because if I go out there and work for, I don't know, 8 hours a day, and then I don't, maybe some overtime or something, I might not have enough time to like come home, chill, play some Trove, record a video or something. So
Yeah.
that part kind of a little bit worried about that part, but hopefully I can find something.
Yeah, definitely. Like that kind of make me think like, or thinking that when you say like graphic design, do you feel like you have an edge on like making content when you are a graphics designer? Like,
So I wouldn't really call myself like a professional graphic designer. I'm like, I guess I know how to do a couple things on Photoshop, and I'm mainly just like a photo editor. Like if there's stuff in the background that I can kind of just fix it and just remove things. So when it comes to my thumbnails are not that good. I'm just gonna say that right now. I kind of just I use the same background in every single video, and then I just kind of throw stuff in there that's related to whatever I'm talking about.
mm,
So I'm not a. I wish I was really good at creating art, stuff like that. I was always jealous of people that could, but I guess it is what it is. Everyone's kind of good at their own thing.
yeah, 100%. I didn't like that. I guess there is a bunch of stuff you can do as a graphic designer. I thought you were just making like more graphic things, I guess. But yeah,
Yeah, I guess Yeah, when I say graphic design, I guess it might come out like that, but yeah, I just mainly just edit photos from the background of stuff.
Okay, okay, like that. Um,
Yeah.
so you kind of talked about, and that kind of made me kind of think like, what if would you go full content creator? Like, if let's say Trove blows up, like let's say it actually becomes a good game. Oh, I'm joking, I'm joking. No, but like let's say it actually blows up for some reason, like some big streamer or something like that gets a hold of it and kind of thinks it's amazing, and then like everybody plays, and then everybody comes watch your videos, right? Because like, or this, whatever happens, right? Let's say that like it could also be another game that kind of blows you up, if you can say it like that. Would you go full content creator if like you could?
Yeah, I 100% would. I really like making content. I started back in like 2014, and I kind of just used that as like a distraction to like a lot of stuff was happening IRL, and I wasn't really a fan of school. Like, I was passing classes, but it was like way too much of a struggle. So I had YouTube as kind of like a let's relax here type thing. So I
Mm.
forgot the question. Sorry.
No, it's just going full content creator, like
Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah, because
Uh,
yeah, go ahead.
uh, no, I was just gonna say that yeah, I would definitely do it because I really wanted to back then when I was in high school making these videos, and I definitely want to now. But I guess it just depends on I don't know, I guess if Trove ever blows up or if I become like a lot more consistent with how I want to do things.
Yeah, 100%. Like, I think that's always the what people think is the dream, right? Like when people are looking from content creators from outside, and there's definitely some content creators out there, like like this. Let's say Mr. Beast, right? Like he's not gonna struggle anytime soon. In the sense of, well, he says he puts like all the money back in the videos, but I'm pretty sure he also has a savings account, right? And that's sort of the thing for me, is that like, sure, let's say Troll blows up, and everybody comes watches your content, right? And you suddenly makes like enough, like doesn't make sense to go to work anymore, right? And you can see, okay, and actually, I can actually, sustain my lifestyle or whatever, my life out of making content, right? But what if then the like week after, everybody's just like, let's move on to the next game, right? Like that's always the concern that I feel like with the content creation, is that it would be fun to live of it in some cases, but it would also be kind of nerve wracking in some ways. I feel like that. What if nobody then watches you, right? What if the subscriber count goes down? What if the Twitch subscribers also goes down, and suddenly like, so of course you could just go get yourself a job again, but it's not that easy, right? That's the thing about it. So that's the concerns I have with going full time, and why I don't think I wanted to go full time. Even if I could sustain it, I would just like have it as an extra income, I guess.
Yeah, I guess it's funny that you mentioned Mr. Beast because he talked about this, I think, in the X or Twitter post at some point where it's like there's some people out there that like kind of move out, they get their own place, and then they realize that they're not making as much from like streaming or YouTube or whatever the case may be,
Mm.
and then they have to go back to their parents' house. So I guess if I ever do go full time, I'll try to make sure, or I'm definitely gonna make sure that I'll be able to kind of just support myself for at least like an entire year. So if I can do that, then I should be fine. And then if everything goes like completely downhill, then I guess I'll just go back to my parents' house or something.
Yeah, and
So
that's of course if you have that. Not everybody has that sort of lucky. I wouldn't call it lucky,
yeah,
but
it's
I don't have that option. So
yeah,
um,
it's not for everybody, but I guess as long as you have something to like, as long as you're not like super reliant on that one thing that like maybe might work or maybe not might not work. So
yeah, but I feel like it's always like there's always a chance if you have a job, right? You can get fired and all that stuff, but I feel like it's kind of more up to the and well, I guess it's sort of the same thing with your performance in your videos or your streams and stuff like that, sure. But I just feel like it's more up to people, and I just don't trust the internet being a reliable source unless you become. I feel like there's kind of a kind of a threshold or something like that, where it's like, okay, now I have, I can. Basically, I heard at one point, I don't remember when it was, but I think I brought it up before, but I'm just gonna bring it up again, I guess. But if you have like 1,000 people, doesn't matter what you do, like, but if you have 1,000 people that basically buys all your product, for example, if you are sort of, let's say you are a cosmetic person, whatever it's like that, and they buy like everything you set out to, and they watch all your videos, they watch all your streams, like they basically are not extreme fans, but like they just consume everything you do. If you have 1,000 people that does that, you can basically say you made it, basically, in that sense. I think it's not the same thing with maybe content creation, but I think more or less it's the same. Like some people like always is subscribed to you and like watches all your videos and such. So I think there is some sort of threshold where you can say, okay, now I'm basically on that point where, like, what if I change game? Somebody's just gonna, they like you for you and not the game, right? Or whatever you're doing content for.
Wait, sorry, what was the question there?
No, there's not really any question. There's just like thoughts on how, like, the thing is that there is a threshold for when you can like make it, and that's always like the concern, right? Or not a concern, but that's the thing where it's like, hey, can I make it to that point where like you're comfortable with everybody being around? But it wasn't really a question. I guess it was just it's just
the thing that came to my mind was, so when you were talking about that, there's a couple songs that came to my mind where so if I ever do make it, there's like a specific song I want to play just for like that specific moment. And then I don't know if you know KSI Lamborghini, that song, but if I ever get a Lamborghini, I just want to just cruise down the street and have that song playing in the background. But
yeah.
I'm with you there on the threshold. Like when you I guess when you're talking about when you meet like a certain goal for the, like if you're selling cosmetics and stuff, and like having, or I guess I don't know if I'll ever sell cosmetics, but if I ever did and people bought it, then I don't know. I guess maybe I can just sell some kind of tutorial
it was more the point of you have those diehard fans where it's just like, if you like, let's say you play, you make, like, let's say you become like maybe your channel grows to like 100,000 subscribers, right, or something like that, and then you kind of, let's say Trove, that's what you could accumulated on Trove, right, and then you like gonna be or Trove then suddenly shuts down or something like that, right? And then you move on to another game. You say like, okay, I want to play some, let's say Minecraft, right? And then of course Minecraft is also a pretty popular game, so those people might stick around. But let's say you just then move on to Call of Duty or something like this, like kind of completely different in a way from Trove, right? Then like you're gonna have enough people to say, if you don't have those, let's say 1,000 hardcore fans, then you're gonna probably lose like a lot more, because like they won't buy your products if you have any merch or anything like that, or don't watch your videos anymore. Like it becomes like a self-sustaining kind of way of life, if that makes any sense. Like it becomes like, okay, they like you for you and not for what game you're playing. Like you could play like Call of Duty, you can play some strategy game or something like that, and they'd be just like, oh, I love it, it's just the best, and you're just the best content creator in the world, right? Like I think that's the thing with, we talked about Mr. Beast, right? Like he has more than 1,000, right? Of course, that the hardcore fans, right? So, but he probably has like, let's say 2-3 million people that buys like all his feastables, that buys like all the merch he ever puts out. He watches all his videos, right? Like, so he's like way over that threshold there is to they like him for him and not for whatever videos. Like he could just put out a video where he says, oh yeah, I just like to sit here and talk to myself or whatever, right? And then people be like, oh my god, this is the best content ever, right? Like they just like him for him, so I
Yeah, I
think
think
that.
that's the thing with. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean
No,
to
no,
cut
no,
you
no.
off.
I was done. I was just.
I was gonna say like that's the tough thing about me creating content because it's like with Trove, like I'm sure I don't know, for me for example, I get kind of bored of it sometimes here and there. I might adventure out
Mm,
into other games. And it's like if I do stream like other games, I might not get as many viewers, but it's like I don't really want to force myself to play the game that I want or that I should be playing to get viewers. I just want to
mm.
kind of uh, play what I want to sometimes. And I don't know. At the moment, right now, having pretty good time with Trove, just chilling, doing some 5-star farming and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's really hard when you swap games because a lot of the people that watch you for like Trove, for example, might not watch you for I don't know, like Overwatch or Osu or whatever the case may be.
Mm.
So
And
I don't know.
and
I think regardless of all that, like even if nobody watched me play, like I was gonna play the game regardless. I just kind of stream, and if people want to stop by, then that's pretty cool. I get to hang out with them too. But
mm.
yeah,
But
it's
but I think it becomes a different kind of scenario when it's your living. Like, let's say you have, let's say 200 whatever viewers when you're playing Trove, right? But then when you play Osu or Overwatch, as you said, and then you have 10 viewers, like, sure, you still have those, like, subscribers that are, like, making you income and stuff like that. But what if somebody says, all right, I'm not going to resubscribe because now he's playing Osu and now he's playing, like, Overwatch or wherever, like, that's suddenly your income for your life, right? Like it's not going to be, oh, like this is great. Like of course you should play whatever you feel like you should be playing, but it just becomes a different kind of scenario when it's actually something you are living off, right?
yeah, it's fair enough because I guess if I were like making it on Trove, getting paid enough, then switching games would be kind of rough. But I guess for now,
Yeah.
I don't really have to worry about that. I guess I can see that being an issue in the future, but I guess with my plans, I would probably have like a second channel if I want to adventure out into other games. So
Yeah. Yeah, but
I
it
think that
just
would be a
becomes, it's just the more of the thing that the point really being from like what I'm saying is that it's a different kind of thing because like what you just said, when it's your hobby, it's not your income. You're just saying, oh well, if they don't come watch me, well then it doesn't really matter because it's just for fun, right? So it definitely becomes a different kind of scenario when it suddenly is something you live off or try to live off. um,
yeah. I guess sometimes I hear from other content creators too. Like sometimes they take a risk, like jumping to another game. Like they never know if their channel's gonna do better or worse or stay the same or whatever
hmm,
the case may be.
yeah,
So it is kind of scary.
yeah, definitely. That's the point. Like scary,
Yeah.
really scary to venture out to other things. But that's also what I said before. Like if you have those hardcore fans, they will just like jump with that. They will just be like, okay, that's fine, and then you can sustain that sort of. You can sustain your life without worrying about, okay, what if I switch games? Well, you definitely have a bunch of other. You have a bunch of people that's always going to watch your videos, watch your streams, and all that stuff.
Yeah, makes sense. I guess I kind of wanted to ask this early on. I'm kind of I don't mean to like completely change subjects, but
No, no,
it's
no.
gonna be
I
a
was
change of
gonna
subject. But
change it as well.
I was just I was super curious. 'Cause, I guess I can answer this too if you want me to. But how did you get into Trove, or like how did you find it, and then what kept you going in it?
Oh yeah, I would love to ask you that question as well. So well, I'll start. So I have a friend. His name is Thomas, and he introduced me to the game way back. That was back when like U6 was the biggest. Like that was like the highest, and I remember managing to get to 1600 power rank back then. So I can't remember like what worlds I could get into, but it was like I remember Screamheart, like all the way back. He made like giveaways for like I think it was like 100,000 flux or something like that, and that was like that would be the same as 100 million today, for example. So there
Yeah, that
was
was a
this,
lot back then.
yeah, there was an insane amount. So I was trying to make content for Trove, or I was like starting out. I think it was streaming Trove. I wasn't making videos because my first videos on my YouTube channel was like Path of Exile. Um, but I then played a little bit, and I was trying to stream and stuff like that, but I could never get like many viewers at all because like Trove was first of all not really big, but like people were going for that giveaway, right? And he was like giving away that so much, and I was like, I can't give away that much. So I just kind of got discouraged by streaming Trove and also playing Trove. So I moved on to Path of Exile. That was also where it started coming in. So I made some content for, of course, for Path of Exile, but that was kind of when I started playing, and then I like jumped away, and then suddenly I think I got some. I don't know if I remember it as an email, but I'm not 100% sure. But it was like at their first anniversary, where there's like, hey, come check out Trove. There's a bunch of rewards and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, I haven't checked out this game for a while. I'll check it out, and then yeah, ever since then I just been playing. So yeah.
Pretty good, as long as you enjoy it.
Yeah, that's also why I have a discontinuance with my total days of played, and then like my login streak thing. So I think I'm like 200 days apart from each other or something like that, because I played 200 days or approximately before that or something like that.
Yeah, I think you got some competition on your daily streak with Summer, because I think she's at 3.6k or somewhere around that, just above that for the streak. So
yeah, I know. I know. I'm not. I also saw somebody on Reddit actually when I was below or just above to hit 2,000 or something like that. Somebody posted on Reddit that there were like 2,600. It wasn't Summer. It was somebody else. They might have missed it by now. I don't know, but they posted on there. I was like, okay, cause at that point I thought I was pretty up there, by a few, right? But then when somebody posted like that, somebody random I've never heard about, like I knew that, like there's definitely some people that has some more streaks up there.
surely they're not playing now with this new update. I'm sure a lot of people, I think, dislike this update so much, which I'm kind of on the same boat.
Yeah, we're probably also gonna. I think we should talk about that as well, and because I feel like this update, and we should also talk about how you got into. We shouldn't miss out on that, but I feel like this update sort of doesn't fit Trove. I don't know if that makes any sense. I kind of feel like Trove is kind of. I feel like if you have these, I kind of the way I kind of want to explain it is kind of like sound waves in a sense, where it's like Trove's flow kind of, or you could also just call it a flow. It's just kind of like it's kind of very up and down, but it's kind of soft. The curves are kind of soft, like in a sense that it does make sense. These different updates we gotten, like they haven't like really stood out in a way. That's kind of the point of the wave, I guess. Where I feel like this one is like it's a different timeline. I feel like this is something that doesn't like fit Trove at all at the update. I feel like the point is that that everything that we got in this update is kind of just a ripoff of something we already have, which I don't feel like we have gotten updates to updates, right? Like for example, we got PvP, we got a new season, right? Sure, that's not something new, but it is a new season, and that makes sense to get a new season and stuff like that. But I feel like this is kind of like a different timeline or different wave, where it's like kind of this doesn't fit what all the other updates we've ever gotten for Trove. It kind of makes sense to the updates we've gotten, and this just feels like something they've just kind of put out there and just put a sticker on it where it says new content, kind of in a way. And I don't ever felt like we got that sort of update before, where it's like so much old stuff that's kind of plastered with stickers saying it's new stuff. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, it definitely makes sense, because it really makes no sense on why. So, was it the start of this year around March? We got Crystal 5, and then I guess a month ago now we got Mystic Gear. Like, I don't know why we got. I don't know what the point of the whole double gear thing was, and I don't see a point in all that. Plus, with all that extra damage, like it just doesn't really make sense. Like, what are we gonna use it for? Like, I don't know. I feel like in terms of content, it just feels like they're running out of idea and just like reusing old stuff, because it's like kind of the same thing in a way. Like I kind of like the idea of Trove where like you just collect stuff and then build up the power rank of your class. But
Mm.
I feel like each power rank update is basically just the same thing because we just go through gems, then we go through the gear, and then we just kind of rinse and repeat. Like we just get better gear and then we get better gems. I guess at some point we're probably gonna get the modules, crystal or mystic or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm with you there because it just feels like it does feel like we're on like a different timeline.
Yeah, 100%. Like, but also, like I said, there's no new stuff in this update. If you look at it, if you look at of course they made so room crafting is can be higher, but room crafting we already have, so it's not a new profession. Not that we should have a new profession. We have gotten a lot of new professions lately. Like we all, well, not lately, but kind of we got the martial thing and whatever the other one, the alchemy thingy, whatever. I think that was pretty cool actually. That was new, but it was new professions. But we didn't get any new biomes. The only thing that's really new is the rotating thing. That's really the only thing because all the biomes, yeah, sure, they're all like together now. Like they haven't been that before, but it's just like copy paste that, copy paste that, copy paste that. There's nothing new in the update, and I feel like that's just I don't know if they were kind of problematic in that sense because they've had a lot of issues with Xbox and PlayStation, all that stuff, getting those updates out there. There's probably like a million reasons why they haven't gotten that one, and it's not only their fault, but I think they've been working really hard on that, and then they were like, kind of like running out of time, saying, okay, we gotta bring new content to PC as well because you usually get an update around summer. So I think they should have just like taking the L on like updates and said, hey guys, we can't get you guys an update. We were working very, very hard on all this Xbox, PlayStation, whatever, and I would have been fine with that. I would have like said, okay, cool, right, take your time with whatever has to work, and then get us better to get us a quality update than quantity. Like just say, hey, we'll just bring all this stuff in and just have this update for no reason. Like
Yeah, it's I don't know, this kind of reminds me of like the whole like, starting from like the Paragon update because ever since that update, like a lot of us were able to just finish the content pretty quickly.
mm.
So I feel like with this current one, like they made it so long. Like I don't know if you know the like how long it takes to max out
Oh
a
yeah.
like entire gear, but yeah, it'll take you. It takes like an average player maybe like half a year to a year to max out a set with
Mm.
how things are right now. So if my idea behind this is that I'm guessing that they're either working on, like you said, console and just fixing everything on there, or they're working on making things better on PC, like a actual good update, or I don't know, just anything really. But I feel like this is just like slow us down while they work on all that stuff. I could
Mm.
be wrong. I really have no idea. It's just my theory. But
Well, yeah, I've talked to a few people about it, and um, they say that they are going to maybe fix the game in the future where it's like, right, we didn't even get anything, which is kind of weird because it's kind of counters what everybody says about Gamigo, but they just want to make money off the game, right? Because they didn't make any like progress items, like for example a tome or anything like that. Yeah, we got the allies, but you still have to be in U or tier 15 worlds, whatever, U12, to actually get those essences, and it's only essences, and essences are not really the problem. The problem is really for me at least, is the what are they called? Those depth thingies that you get from the special delve, whatever called.
Soul the depths.
Yeah, Soul of Depth. Yeah, that I feel like those are really the issue with the whole thing, because they did make those cores or whatever they called the other ones. Those can be tradable, for example. That's really something else, right? Which is I think is pretty cool. That it's like a mid tier. That kind of makes it a mid tier resource instead of making it like an high tier resource that the souls are. So I think that's pretty cool that they actually made it like that. But that the essences didn't really feel like it was the whole thing. And then of course the whole debacle about of course people getting so many of those boxes, those trunks, whatever they're called, and where you just mine them and you got a bunch of them. I don't know if you know that one.
Sadly, I was in Germany when all that happened, so I couldn't really play.
No,
I missed out on that.
I didn't expect them to nerf it, so I didn't get anything out of it either. I did make a video on it, and then I was planning on doing it like the next Tuesday because that was like Tuesday, and I think I had time off, and I could just like do it the whole day or for 3 hours and just get a bajillion boxes because again I didn't know how to progress my character other than do the thing that I tried to do or whatever. And I think like that's also why it is sort of a little bit off with this update is that it doesn't show you it doesn't feel like it's a worked through like way of progressing. It's not like, hey, you go here, you do this, like it's not like it doesn't seem like it's thought through how they want you to progress. Like other than of course you can go to the delve and you can do all this, but it doesn't seem like it is like completely thought about how they are should progress. It seems unclear to me. I don't know why. It just seems like yeah.
It's kind of like you mentioned. I feel like it just feels really rushed. Like they
Yeah.
just wanted to get something out there for us, like something to do. But again, like you mentioned, like I would have been fine if they just wanted to work on the game. I would have been fine with no update. Like I could have just done other stuff Trove related, which is fine. But yeah, I'd rather just have them like put out meaningful content and
Mm.
just have us work towards something that's actually useful, rather than Crystal 5 gear that we got in what is it in March, and then now this that we got a month ago. Just
Yeah.
this just doesn't really make any sense. I'd rather them just maybe fix console or do something about that, and then I don't know, just make PC like a better place.
Yeah, I don't feel like PC is in a bad place like before this update. I was actually thinking, I usually do like a video every single year, like around, the new year where it's like kind of an idea video, like what could what is good ideas that I thought about, like heard from other people or myself just thought about while, playing the game. It's like, what could we do better, right? So I have this whole idea bank I do. And actually after the gear update, we got, in the spring there, I was kind of thinking they're pretty on point with the updates. Maybe I don't have to do an idea video this year, when we come to the end of the year, right? And then after this update, I'm kind of like, okay, I for sure have to make a video on what we want from the game, right? Because they definitely don't know what they want to do with the game, or I feel like now they need my help in a sense, right? So it's kind of how to kind of totally be on point about how the update was like, because I felt like the gear update was really really amazing because it took out something that I know some people have been talking about, like the RNG of getting your items, and now you could basically work towards those items. Like there's still some RNG and you can still be lucky, but I love in a game where it's like, okay, if I don't get lucky, I can still just take that extra time and then craft my item, and then I still get it. But it'd be nice if I could get it luckily. But yeah, I like that playstyle more than just totally RNG, of course. So I was really hyped about the gear update when it came out. I know some people had some other, but for what it was for an update, I think it was pretty awesome, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I guess everyone has like their own opinions to it. It's like I can see the good, I can see the bad. But when it comes to like when you mentioned the RNG thing, the first thing that popped to my mind was the mementos and how I guess useless those are. And it's so frustrating that like when you're trying to farm for like a specific memento, I
Mm,
guess, or permatorches for that matter, you can farm that over and over for like an entire day and not make any progress like towards anything. That's what I don't like about the game. I really wish that even if you were farming for that one thing, at least you would be getting like I don't know, something else that would be helpful.
mm,
So I think I don't know, for permas for example, like that's insanely the amount of RNG you need to even drop a perma torch is pretty insane. So I was thinking, I don't know if they ever implement it, just like loot collect your fragile torches for like a certain fragment, and then if you collect a certain amount, and then maybe throw in some other resources, then maybe you can just craft yourself a perma torch or something. But I can't really see Game Ago doing that. But just something like that. So like I guess your time spent in Trove isn't like completely wasted. I guess if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's not wasted to RNG. Yeah, exactly. I think that's
Yeah.
actually a pretty good idea, and I we do have, and I also think now you're mentioning mementos. I recently got to getting those boxes. You can get 3 a week, where you can get random what's it called, mementos in.
All right, the
Uh,
mastery one.
yeah, the mastery one. Yeah, and I think that's pretty cool. I think they should have maybe if they nerfed it with like you're only getting 2 a week, but instead you would get some you don't have, for example, right? So you wouldn't get duplicates. So it'd be like only ones you like don't have. So like you could basically finish your collection, right? Even though if you can't get that one memento to drop, then I should think there should maybe I think maybe 3 you get every week that you don't have. Maybe a little bit too much, but then on the other hand, you would always get some you don't because like this week I actually got 3 that I actually had because it was just like I don't have a lot of them because I haven't farmed them, but I do have a few of them, right? But I actually got 3 that I actually had. So uh, I think that the concept of having that tome is pretty awesome because it's a whole week. You have to wait until you get that one, and I know that some people are just as you say yourself, you're maybe sitting on one, but then at least you would have a chance to get it, right? Like just like the dragons, right? With Golden Dragon Effigy, it's gonna unlock a dragon you like. It's not gonna unlock a dragon that you already have, right? It's gonna unlock
Yeah.
something like that. So I think they should
Yeah.
rework that one to also because the mementos are getting also why it makes sense is because the mementos are getting to be older content, right? It's not something that's like current. And again, some people might be sitting, as you said, on like missing one and don't want to do it because it's like super awkward to get like where you have to go to get it, and then you have to have super RNG to get the right enemies, and then you have to get super RNG to have it drop it as well, right? So I think it's just better to say, okay, we're gonna make it so you can get that one that and of course, eventually you'll probably get it, even though it wouldn't be some you don't have. But again, I feel like they should just unlock, or just get 1 a week or something like that, right? That like a golden dragon effigy, so call it a golden memento effigy that you get every week, so you can get one you don't have, right?
Yeah, and I guess they have those solid Q memento things where it unlocks the memento that you don't already have. So those are pretty cool, but they are also pretty difficult to get. Um, I don't know, I see what the devs are doing with like the whole RNG stuff to make it so like we don't get everything right away.
Mm,
But if it was just like a little bit more rewarding, because I'm sure like a lot of people in this game get stuck with like time gated stuff. They have to, I don't know, wait till like I don't know next month to finally be I don't know strong enough to do whatever Uber that they're trying to do. And it's just
mm,
like if they're like stuck, but like let's just take Empower Gems for example. I always get like a ton of people asking me, or not asking me, but telling me about how they're super unlucky with that,
mm.
and it's pretty frustrating because you can open up so many of those and just get extremely unlucky, not getting any of the empower gems that you need, and you can't really progress if you don't have any decent empower gems. So it is pretty frustrating in that sense. So I don't know. I feel like if something got worked around that, just made it like a little bit easier, just so people wouldn't have to wait for those time gated stuff as much. Because I
Mm.
feel like a lot of people end up getting like bored and quitting because they just don't want to bother waiting for all that stuff to happen.
Yeah, um, I think that the stuff we have now should be 100% be the same time gated stuff, like the methods we have now. I feel like they just should add more methods. I guess that makes it also less time gated. But the point is this, like just so you have multiple ways to work on it. Like the same thing with this update, right? Like there's only one way to progress, and they didn't buff that way to like they nerfed the boxes, right? And then it's like, okay, but you didn't buff the other methods to get it, right? Like give us more methods to obtain that and kind of find a way, because then somebody is going to be like, okay, I feel like it's pretty fun to just mine the boxes, and some people find it fun to do the delves, and they're kind of forcing people into doing the content that they wanted to do, and it's more like it's us that's playing the game, so they should just give us more options to progress, especially also with the time gated stuff with empowered gym boxes. And I feel like they have done that, but I feel like they could make a few extra, methods to obtain time gated stuff. Um,
Yeah, I'm not sure what they could do to make it better, but I agree. If they could just, I don't know, something a little bit different just to help out the people that actually need these things, that would make it a lot better. And then I guess when it comes to the gear, I don't know if Mystic Gear will ever drop in those Gear Crafter boxes, but that would be pretty nice. I guess it would make sense considering the Gear Crafter boxes are for like gear forging
yeah,
stuff. So I don't know.
I
They
don't
should
know.
add it in there, but
Yeah, I don't know how they are going to be, but they said in the patch notes that the only thing we really know about what's going to go on is that they haven't. They say that the gear crafters or whatever they're called haven't figured out how to uh, have people crafted. I can't remember the right phrasing, but they said yet. They did put the word yet. So I'm pretty sure that their plan with the update is that eventually it's gonna, be something and tied into the gear crafting or something like that. But the point is, it's probably going to cost some of the materials that we can't obtain anyway. So it's like, okay, I can get mythic gear, sure, but but I can't get it really because I still need those, items that I can't get a hold of. So if I could get a hold of those items, I really don't need any of whatever you guys are providing for us. Like, it's like. It kind of maybe contradictory, like kind of counter itself. I don't know if that's the wording, but I'm curious to see what they're gonna do because they did put that wording inside of the patch notes when they announced this update. So, or
yeah,
whatever.
I'm curious as well because at the moment it's looking a little bit rough out there.
Yeah,
It's kind of hard to max all this stuff out.
yeah, especially also with the time and all that stuff. Like it's absolutely insane how much time that you actually need to do this. And I feel like it's great that we have something to work towards, but it should also just be fun and rewarding. Like it's not it's a grind, and I don't mind the grind. I also want it to be fun and rewarding at the same time. And I have no idea how that is. So I'm also kind of the frustration that I have towards this update is also I don't have the solution myself. Not that I have to have it, but I always kind of promote that people should say also what they want, right? Like when people say, "Oh, this game is bad." Okay, can you tell me why this game is bad? Like kind of provide that information. Just don't say a thing is bad. Say why it's bad. What you want it to be changed, right? And that's also why I'm saying this frustration is that I don't have any ideas to how to make this update fun. I feel like Trove is still fun, but I feel like this update is just not fun as it should be.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you there because I guess when it comes to Overwatch, I dislike or I dislike the entire game in general. I've played it for so long already, but every update that they're putting into Overwatch just it gets worse and worse. I already don't like playing it. I don't even want to look at that game. So
Mm.
I'm hoping that it doesn't get to the case with Trove. I really like Trove. I want to see it to I want it to do like really good, and I want to keep making content for it. But if they keep doing stuff like this, I'm worried about the end of Trove. I don't want that to happen.
Yeah, I don't feel like Trove can survive many of these updates here. I feel like they should take a step back and focus on like reevaluating the update cycle. Like because like we just talked about, it feels like it's rushed and stuff like that. I feel like they should have waver away from the. It feels like we have a 3 month update cycle where it's like we get one around, and that's something that's been for a while now, and I've always kind of enjoyed it because the updates has been fine, right? But I feel like they should stray away from that because they're kind of behind on this whole console thing that's going on, and I really feel like they should take a step back and reevaluate the cycle and just don't stick to a cycle. I don't know if that's something that's coming up from higher, management and saying, hey, we should get an update every 3 months or something like that. But I don't think that Trove can survive updates where it's just like rushed as this one as well. Like, I think everybody is, but I think it's maybe also a really good thing that we got this update because then everybody's like, all right, on the page of saying, hey, we want quality over quantity, right? Because if they kept doing good updates every 3 months, then people be like, and they would be saying, hey, we're gonna take a step back and do like an update in the 6 months or something like that. Then people would be like, oh, why are you doing that? People wouldn't understand, but I'm pretty sure people understand this time around, right? Because what has been the experience.
Yeah, I think for Trove, I just wanted to see. I want to see it do good. So it I guess it all depends on the devs, and if they want to do quantity over quality, I'm not gonna enjoy that. I'd rather if they just put out like one good update once a year, I'd be fine with that. Although I feel like they should do a little bit more than that.
Yeah,
I don't know. Just like if they something like more meaningful where it's not like useless grind. Because if I even if I get Mystic Gear, like I don't really see it helping me anywhere else in Trove. Like I can still do pretty good against Leviathans. I can still do decent in delves to get my weeklies.
yeah.
I guess there isn't really a whole lot to do in the contest stuff. So I don't really have like a use to like use the power that I have for, if that makes sense.
Yeah, gaming has also changed a lot in general. Like people jump from game. There's so many games out there. Like back in the day, in the old days, we can say it like that. Like you had like one game that was the game you only played, right? And then like you were hungering all the time for updates because you only playing that game. Now people kind of jump around, as you said yourself, like Overwatch or Uso or something like that. Then you jump like, hey, maybe Uso also comes out with like a new update or something like that, and some new maps or whatever they do. The same thing right now. I'm playing Path of Exile because they just started a new league, and then I'll play this for like a week or two until I'm kind of done with the league, and then the league still goes for 3 months in Path of Exile, but I maybe I only play like 5-10% of the time, right? And the same goes for Diablo that I also love to play. Like I jump from game to game, and the same thing goes for Trove. Like, and I think that they can get away with doing like not a specific cycle, but just do an update whenever they have something that is really worked through and say, hey, guys, actually now we have something absolutely amazing. Of course, you can do that 3 months cycle if you have the people for it, if you have the game for it, but Trove is just not that kind of game that is making that revenue that you can actually say, hey, guys, we gotta buckle down and, hire enough people to make that content come out in 3 months. So I think they should just go into a cycle of randomness where it's just like, yeah, but of course not too random, but like still like
Yeah, reasonable.
yeah, reasonable, but not say, hey, okay, we are actually running out of time. We're just gonna slap something together and give it to people so they have something to do while we are working on this other stuff.
Yeah,
So
I'm with you there. Like,
yeah,
like with Trove, like, I'll still continue playing it. I won't really, I'm not gonna grind it. Like, I won't go try hard on it. I guess if you want to put it that way.
yeah,
Because I don't know. Until they put out like more meaningful updates, I won't full on try hard grind all these updates. I'll just kind of casually play other games here and there, but I'll still make Trove like a priority. Like I'll still stream it. I'll still make YouTube videos on it. I still enjoy it. It's really fun. I just like I said, I just wanted to. I want to see it do good. So
yeah. The same here. Like it's also from that perspective, right? Where it's like want to do it in a good way and all that stuff. But I think we're kind of at the point where we should just like kind of get the story because we kind of missed that how you got into Trove, and I think that's gonna be it for it because we're over an hour now. So
oh dang, we're past already.
yeah,
Uh,
not that it should be an hour, but just like it's just
it's
it's
like
a
a good
long time
little
to listen
mark.
to more than an hour, right? But yeah, I would love to hear the story as the last thing here. On
It's nothing too fancy, but I guess so back in 2016, I guess games were kind of stale for me at least. I didn't really know what I wanted to play. And at the time I had a friend that we kind of just played games together like Rocket League, Minecraft, stuff like that. So we got kind of bored of that, so we went onto the PlayStation Store to look for free games. I think he went out to do whatever, and then I was just looking at the store, seeing like what kind of games they had. And then on the free games of the month, they had Trove on there. I don't know why it was on the free games of the month. It's already a free game, but I guess I didn't really question it. So I downloaded the game. I told my friend to get it because it seemed pretty cool. And then the moment we launched it, like it kind of blew our minds because I thought it was just gonna be like either like a single player game or just I don't know, something you can get done like I don't know within like a day or something. Like I didn't think it'd be that good, but we ended up trying it. I got extremely jealous because my friend, the moment we got it, he got super addicted. So like he looked up how to get the best dragons or like I don't know the coolest mounts or something like that, and I was just like there trying to figure out how to use my character and all that stuff. So I was a complete noob back then, and then what was it after that? He got kind of bored of it. He quit. I continued playing for a little bit longer, and
Mm.
then I think you remember when Hydrokin and what was it DD they came out, and then they made it so you have to use keys to open up the box at the end to get your souls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That was when I quit the game because I was like, all right, this game's like too grindy for me. I'm never gonna play it again. So, fast forwarding to 2019, I had a couple friends who brought up Trove on PC, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember that game. So, I decided to try it because I was like, okay, I remember how to level up characters, I remember the weeklies, and just like the super basic stuff.
Mm.
So, I played it for a little bit. They got extremely bored of it, and I was like, all right, you know what? I'll just give this a try this time. I'll see how far I can get.
Yeah.
And then I live streamed my entire journey, and here we are.
Yeah. So it became kind
Was
of a
really fun.
challenge for yourself.
Yeah, it was. I really like that. There's just a whole lot to collect, a whole lot to do, so many things to do, and it was very confusing. I got kind of roasted on certain things. I know there's like a clip out there of when I played Revenant for the first time. There's the spike ability or whatever that I haven't my buttons bounded on the mouse, so I'm not sure what that ability number is, but the
Yeah.
thing that you take damage with.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to turn that off, so every time I played Rev, I was just constantly dying. I did not know how to fix that, so I just ended up getting roasted in my Twitch chat because I didn't know how to play him. But yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah, like Trove is a really good game in just like how I feel like I use that's also why something I talked about recently also talked about um, it being a game where I can just relax. Like there's no like not try harding. I know you can try hard in a sense, but there's no like I'm better than you kind of vibe. I feel like of course you can always make that vibe for yourself, but I just feel like it's kind of casual. It's just something you just play, you just get your little bit of starboard there, and you just do a little bit there, and of course you can also just play it non-stop, but I also feel like it's amazing to just do a little bit every day, and then you can actually also get it rewarded a lot, and feel like that's kind of what I love about Trove, and I can just lay back and chill with it.
Yeah, I like that. It's not like super competitive. You can just kind of shut your brain off and just do whatever you want to in Trove. That's what I like about it. It's like a nice and relaxing game.
Yeah.
Although, I don't know. Whenever it comes to like new updates, I kind of just I go full on try hard mode, and I just kind of like I try to get like as little sleep as possible just to finish whatever update it is. I guess that's how crazy I am about getting all the mastery and powering stuff done.
But that also makes it like you can do that, but there's a difference from you can do that and you have to do that.
Yeah, that's true. I just choose to do it. I don't know. I like the game that much that I spend a lot of time playing it, as long as I'm not at work or busy with other stuff.
And then kind of goes hand in hand with what we talked about before about the update, because they're forcing us to do the delve, right? It's like enough with the delve, right? We have done delve enough. It's not the answer to everything. Almighty delve, like it's a fine feature, but it shouldn't be defining of the whole game, right? So it really takes too much time to be forced into that. And that's probably also why it feels wrong, is because you're being forced into doing that specific content instead of just being, hey, okay, maybe I'll take the long way around, but I like the long way around instead. That just feels more fun to me, even though it's a long way around. Then there's a relaxing way to do it, if that makes sense. Instead of saying, hey, this is the only way, and you have to do this, and you should do this, and you do it all the time, and do it now, and do it, all the time, right? So
yeah, that's true. I guess in terms of that, everyone's kind of a little bit different on that. For me, it's like I get that added pressure off when I'm like finished doing something. So like when I finished mastery for the first time, I felt like that chunk of weight was off my shoulder, so I could either focus on power rank
Yeah,
or something else for that matter. So
yeah. There
um,
should be there should just be more like say like I said like the Dell would be the direct way, but then they should make a way where yes it takes longer, way longer maybe even. Like I wouldn't mind if it take way longer, but if it's if it feels just as rewarding or maybe even more rewarding, like you took the long way around, but you had fun doing it, for example, or you had a good time doing it. Maybe it doesn't feel like it's the long way, anyways. You know?
yeah, like with this 5-star dungeon farming that I've been doing, like you get on average like I don't know maybe 5 of those boxes per 5-star, which is pretty terrible. But I don't know, there's like the people that I gather doing these 5-star dungeons with. It's like you create pretty good memories, and then it's just like well, it depends on the memories. It might be painful memories if you don't like grinding all that, but I find it pretty fun, just kind of hanging out, talking, just I don't know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
farming without really
100%.
paying attention to a lot. Yeah.
All right. I think we're getting we're now in 20 now, so
Okay. All right.
yeah, and that's what that kind of what happens with these ones is just like we you kind of just keep talking and like in the beginning it's kind of feels like oh an hour okay well okay can we fill out a whole hour by talking but one thing
Yeah.
leads to another and it just takes its own life in the sense. But I want to thank you for taking the time to this and actually reviving the what's it called the podcast again.
Thank you for having me. I was surprised. I just brought up the idea of if you're gonna bring it back. I was surprised to even be on your podcast. So thank
Yeah,
you.
I would like I said in the beginning like I just kind of like ran out of people knowing who like not ran out of people like in that sense but it just I didn't know who to ask if that makes any sense like
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of people I knew of course about you and I know about a lot of other people but it's just like it's just it's not that it's hard to ask people but it's just like it just
Like
it
if they
also
want to do it or not.
yeah it's more like okay does it not like make sense to ask somebody I don't know what the exact wording is but it's just like it's like okay am I feeling you know the thing am I feeling doing the podcast at all like it's not the people that are on but it's just like yeah it's a lot of things that has to come together for it actually and yeah sometimes like I said I told you as well I basically I think I got lazy with it as well like
No
you know
worries.
I had fun with it and then like kind of got lazy with it and then just like kind of ran out in a you know in the sand if you can say it like that just like kind of effed out
Well,
so but
the
I'll
point is
probably ask
blind.
you if you could write down a few I think that's a good idea to a few you think would be a good match for you know for the podcast you could just you know type it to me on Discord because I would love to take some suggestions I think I'm going to ask people that if I can get some more people on and stuff like that for some suggestions
I can give
so
you a few suggestions and
yeah
see if they respond and stuff like that.
yeah like they might not want to but you know some but I think it's better not to say who it is because then you know people
Mystery.
mystery yeah same and like and also they don't get on blast I don't know if somebody would be but we talked about that before right like on the internet then like if you say it right here and they never get on like maybe they'll get messages from people who knows like why you not to be on this podcast I wanted you to be on this one right so it's just like I don't want to put anybody else on blast you know on that case on that sense
Shout out Scary.
yeah
I don't know. Just throw out a random name.
okay anyways
No.
but again thank you so much for coming on and yeah
Thank you.